Weapons like these are very useful when you need a break from studying, though not that kind of break. Starting with the Whole Cake Island, we finally got to see why Sanji avoids family reunions. Turns out, he's part of the Vinsmoke family, a bunch of genetically modified superhumans trying to make their kingdom, one awkward family dinner at a time. Judge thought the best way to raise his kids was to toss out parenting books, and instead opt for the Mad Scientist's Guide to Child Rearing. And the results are that his kids ended up with superhuman abilities and some very high-tech outfits that could probably give a challenge to Iron Man's suit. These raid suits come with all the essentials for a family of combat-ready supermodels: waterproof and fireproof fashion, perfect for any ocean-dwelling pyromaniac, boots that accelerate like they're late for a meeting, and bulletproof capes for when dodging bullets just seems like too much effort. Sanji got all the cooking skills, but none of them has a power suit gene. In the Wano arc, we meet the Fatty Queen, a beast pirate all-star, who's basically what you'd get if a mad scientist and a party DJ somehow combined forces. This guy's a cyborg who can turn into a brachiosaurus because why not? As if that wasn't enough, he's also a mechanical genius, though his engineering hobbies tend to lean less towards helping humanity and more towards creating absolute chaos. Take his Excite bullets, for example, fired from a gun, but instead of a bang, you get a pandemic. One of his greatest hits is the mummy virus, which gives you a fever, makes you bleed like you're auditioning for a horror movie, and leaves you in constant pain, basically like catching the flu, but with extra drama. And if that's not bad enough, then there's the Ice Anavirus. This one turns you into a mindless demon thing with frostbite vibes and gives you just enough time to reflect on your life choices before, and you're done in about an hour. The Gaian Cannon is like the Thousand Sunnies Pluton version. Think of it as a high-powered belch after downing way too much cola. Frankie's design is brilliant, but there's one tiny problem. It guzzles cola like a college kid at a frat party. So every time they fire it, they've basically emptied the crew's soda stash, leaving the ship running on fumes, and the crew praying they don't need to go anywhere fast. When it does fire though, it's like letting out the most satisfying world-shaking burp, obliterating everything in its path, but you can't use it too often, or the Sunnies left limping along, feeling like it's nursing the worst sugar crash ever. The Tamatabako is the ultimate treasure chest. Hidden in the fishman paradise of Ryugu Kingdom, it's rumored to either make you age super fast or turn you into a beast with the strength of 1,000 men. Turns out, both were true, because nothing says power up like losing a couple of decades off your lifespan in exchange for some temporary gains. When Hody Jones and his new Fishman pirates popped open the box, they found energy steroids, which are like the gym supplements. Take one and you're instantly jacked. Take too many, and sure, you'll be strong enough to lift a building, but you'll also look like you've been around since the last ice age. It's the kind of trade-off that makes you wonder if being a hulking monster is really worth the wrinkles. Buggy had to create an explosive weapon that's all about him. These deadly red spheres aren't just average cannonball. They can flatten half a village in one shot. It's Buggy's way of making sure everyone remembers his presence. In the Impel Down, he also rolled out Muggy Balls, the fun-sized version that still has a massive destruction injuring even the monstrous prison guards. They haven't made many appearances lately, but the fact that Buggy's running around with these toys keeps him relevant, even if the rest of him can barely keep it together. Pacifistas are like the Marines' only shitty weapon. Giant, walking, weaponized versions of Bartholomew Kuma, because apparently the real Kuma wasn't enough. These human weapons are so expensive, each one supposedly costs as much as an entire battleship. So yeah, the Marines are basically walking around with high-tech, warlord-shaped toys that cost more than your dream yacht. Their visual targeting systems can lock onto any pirate from miles away, and if that's not enough, they shoot laser beams out of their mouths, courtesy of Admiral Kizaru's powers. It's like a bad sci-fi movie, except these robots will actually incinerate you where you stand. The early supernovas learned the hard way that pacifistas don't play nice. And let's be real, when a giant robot that looks like a grumpy bear starts shooting mouth lasers at you, the last thing you want to do is get on its bad side, or catch a laser in yours. These weird seashell gadgets from Skypiea that somehow make you question everything you know about technology. These handy little shells can do everything from cooking your dinner to blasting someone across the room. But when it comes to battle, the real stars are the impact dials. These bad boys can absorb a hit and send it right back like, no, you take it. And then there are the reject dials, which are like the impact dial's unhinged cousin. They don't just reflect the damage, they give it back tenfold, and in return, you get smacked too. It's like punching someone and then immediately giving yourself a black eye for good measure. Even Luffy's rubbery body couldn't handle an impact dial, and the reject dials. Those things are so overpowered they can take down a self-proclaimed god. Nami's Climatact is basically the most useful weapon, which she also uses like a cucumber. Usopp got tired riding Nami, and he decided to invent this long stick. It is souped up with weather tech and weird ingredients from the Boyne Archipelago. This thing can summon storms, winds, lightning, and even hide its user in a mirage. It's the ultimate tool for someone who likes to stir up a little trouble, or accidentally fry their own crew. With the Climatact, Nami can take on some seriously tough foes, clear out entire groups of enemies, and occasionally zap an ally or two, because who said being a weather witch didn't come with some collateral damage? She's even redirected a lightning bolt from one of the most feared pirates on the seas. And now that Zeus, a sentient cloud, has merged with it, the Klimatak's even more powerful. Nami's no longer the weak link of the crew. She's the one holding a stick that can literally make it rain, in all the best ways. Shirahoshi, the only girl who can give competition to Nami for balloons. She might be remembered as the world's most powerful crybaby, but when your tears could literally drown islands, maybe crying's a power move. She also happens to be the current incarnation of Poseidon, one of the 3 ancient weapons that can potentially destroy the world. She can control the Sea Kings, giant, meat-chomping sea monsters that make even the bravest pirates rethink their life choices. These beasts can sink entire islands just by showing up, so if Shirahoshi gives the wrong command, it's game over. She may sob at the drop of a hat, but when she does, the rest of the world should probably invest in life jackets.